Hello and welcome to Free Kick with me Neeraj Prabhu. This is our special offering with respect to the FIFA World Cup 2018 Russia. Prudent Media have been bringing to you a Free Kick program dedicated to the major tournaments right since 2010, and here we are today with the beginning of the knockout phase in the World Cup, coming to you with a brand new program, Free Kick. As always, we have with us former India striker Francis D'Souza and former defender for the Indian national team Denzel Franco here in the studio to shed light on the performances of various countries at the World Cup, and also give us an idea of how football is developing around the world. So let us get cracking and kick off the show, and let me first get in the views of our experts on how the World Cup group stages have gone on and what you think about the key aspects of the World Cup so far from the team's preparations point of view, and also the way they have played so far. First you Francis.
Neeraj, this is a global spectacle. This is the moment that everybody waits for, to see the World Cup. I don't think this beautiful game entertains like any other sport in the world.
Sure.
And that's why the passion is very high. The outcome is very consequential. If a team loses, somebody commits suicide. So that's what this game does to every citizen of every country. And very rightly so, everybody looks for this World Cup after 4 years. And this year it was not exception. We have seen a youth from Kerala who committed suicide because Argentina hadn't done well earlier.
Sad.
So this is the consequences of the passion that the people have, the supporters have. But on the whole, this group stages has been very entertaining. The unknown underdogs like Morocco, Iran, they have entertained, irrespective of the big guns like Argentina, Germany and all this stuff. And it's a very good sign that football all over the world is developing. And after increasing the teams to 32 for this and the previous World Cup, I think it's a good sign that we have new teams coming up, and they want to perform on the big stage and get the recognition that they want. So we have had very good games, very close games, giving big teams fright in the group stages.
Right. Denzel, as a player, you would have been thrilled to see the lesser known teams coming out there and playing without any fear and expressing themselves really well, like how Francis mentioned Morocco. They looked really good and took the game to their opponents like Portugal and Spain.
Yes, exactly. I mean, this World Cup, no one expected the lower teams doing so well, and the World Cup has been all of giving surprises to the bigger teams. Argentina, Portugal is out of the stage, and also lower teams have been doing good job, and that's the best part about this World Cup.
Did you think that Germany would be knocked out in the group stages itself?
Yes, definitely. It's a shock for the world football, because Germany, a team which has been playing in the World Cup for a very long time and has been progressing and doing quite good, champions in a couple of times. Sad to see that they were out of the World Cup.
Coming to the various talking points of the World Cup, one of the technological advances is the video assistant referee. Can you just explain to us the concept of VAR, because there are a lot of doubts in the minds of the people about this new addition to the FIFA World Cup?
You know, Neeraj, this has been experimented over small competitions by FIFA over a period of time, and they have decided to implement it at the World Cup at the highest level, because in the past we have had the hand of God by Maradona, which has become the most controversial thing, and then that Lampard goal which came out bouncing off from after entering the goal, disallowed goal. So these controversies have necessitated the use of VAR, and very rightly so. It takes some time for everything to sink in to the players, the managers, the coaches, the fans and everybody. So I think the idea of FIFA is, this VAR technology is to see that injustice is not done to any players. any teams. And when you have the technology, you can devise a technology. It is very right that you must use it. And over a period of time, I think it's going to benefit the game, and you will find less people, I mean, rightly getting the awards or going against them as per the VR decisions. Because for a referee to be is human, and to make mistakes in that very high pressure contest, I think this VR is the support system for the referees.
Who can call on for the VAR assistance? We've seen a lot of times the players or the coach themselves make a sign of imaginary sign of a TV, and then they call for VAR. But I think they are not even allowed to call for the VAR, right?
I think it is a little spontaneous on the part of the players or the coach, because that's a reaction that normally happens in the game. But you are not allowed to make a visual sign of a TV or something like this to the referee, because the prerogative is the referee itself. What really happens, Neeraj, is that the technical people in the studio there are 4 instances when this VR can be brought into play. One is the goal, regarding the goal, one is about the penalty, one is about red card, and one is about mistaken identity of a player when he is cautioned. So when the referee in the studio sees an infringement under these categories, he will talk to the referee, and then he will advise him that should you have a look at this incident, whether he has awarded or denied a penalty in one case, just for example. So and then the referee himself, after having some communication with the VR referee, he will go to the screen and take his own decision after having a view on the monitor. So this gives a second chance for the referee to see the incident, because whatever incident happens on the ground, it is on the split second.
Right.
So this gives a referee another opportunity to see the incident on the second time, and that clears all doubts. But ultimately, FIFA has left it finally to the referee of the day, in his opinion, what decision he really takes.
Denzil, as a player, how do you look at this VAR, and in the game when a player is fouled or when there is a call for offside, what sort of a mental impact would it make on the player when it goes to VAR, because football is such a high passion sport?
Yeah, as Sir Francis has explained to us exactly what VAR is all about. But then as a player, I would say it's the best thing that has happened. And it definitely gives a higher hand to the referees. They are human beings, they do mistakes, but it does give them a reason to avoid controversies. And as a player, if I'm on the other side of the foul, I feel I'm winning, because if there are certain fouls or penalties or the goals disallowed, and if I'm on the other side, I think I deserve if it is a goal. For example, the goal which has been disallowed in the last World Cup, Lampard scoring against Germany. If this system was there, I think it could have been a different situation.
Sure.
So, Neeraj, by the way, I have another thing to interrupt you. We had a similar case where the referral was made regarding Nigeria's goal, scored against Argentina, and the assistant referee had signalled for an offside. But if you go back, when they had gone back to the monitor to check it, the ball was last played by an Argentinian player. So that's where the offside was overruled, and the goal was given. So there would have been an injustice, because as the offside law says, the ball has to be played by one of your own players. So that has justifiably been given to Nigeria, and that's a very good decision by VAR.
Even Germany versus South Korea match, I think South Korea's second goal was
given as
given as offside first, and then it was cleared through VAR.
Yeah, and we have a very good famous referee, Pierluigi Collina, who has said that it's incredible that the decisions are given, and says that it is 99.3% success rate. So, and this is the first time that they have introduced. So it speaks well for its outcome.
But there are instances where it feels like there needs to be more consistency in the application of VAR, as we found out with respect to the decisions between Portugal and Iran match, as well as Morocco and Portugal match, where there were blatant fouls. It seemed like they were blatant, but not intervened through VAR, and Iran didn't get any benefit. Neither did Morocco get any benefit.
Yes, Neeraj, very rightly so. If you look at the law book, it says in the opinion of the referee. We had two different referees at two different games, and how they interpreted that particular incident is his own opinion, even if after having a second look at the monitor. But that is where ultimately the decision is left up to the referee of the day.
So that means the world is really divided, because the opinion of the referee is on one side, whereas the technology is on the other side. People are watching it on the replays, people are having their own opinions. So I think footballing world will be debating VAR for a very long time. But nevertheless, what is your final opinion on VAR? Is it good for the game, or is it needs to be refined?
Because everybody says that it slows down the game. I think the longest time that it has been taken for a VAR decision was 80 seconds, and it was not much considered to the outcome of the decisions. So in that aspect, I don't think it is delaying the celebrations or the slowing down the game. Ultimately, you get a fair decision, and that's what matters.
Yes, absolutely. So the VAR is here to provide fair decisions in the spirit of fair play, and the right decisions to be made. Hopefully it will be applied consistently, and we'll see better outcomes in the knockout stages. Right then, the knockout stage has already started with the pre-quarterfinals round. Last night Argentina clashed with France, and we all know the result. The Les Bleus have triumphed. 4-3 was the result in the favor of France. That means Lionel Messi, the great Lionel Messi, seemed to be heading towards bowing out of world football without World Cup title to his credit. Right, there we go, the great Lionel Messi. Absolutely, the hype has been around Messi, the discussions have been around Messi. So we start with the question that is Messi destined to go out of world football without the most prestigious cup in the history of football?
Yeah, it's said that some of the best players like Ronaldo or Messi is going without having their hands on the World Cup. That's something they'll regret all their life and all their career. I mean, it happens to every player. But I think these two players were not very well supported by the rest of the players in this particular World Cup. I think he needed more support. He needed more balls to be delivered to him, where he could work on. And that's primarily the reason why Messi couldn't get on his own. But nevertheless, in this game, you have seen him try 1 or 2 times, and he has also assisted in both the goals. So he was coming into his rhythm in doing something good for the team. But unfortunately, this beautiful game is becoming beautiful. Fortunately, this beautiful game is becoming more beautiful.
Sure.
You see 7 goals in a match in a knockout stage is something that you cannot imagine. And some brilliant goals. Look at Di Maria's goal. Look at Pavard's goal, Benjamin Pavard's goal. I mean, they are gems in the World Cup, which we will remember for a long, long time. And that's what World Cup and football is all about.
Danzil, 4-3 scoreline, how do you describe that?
Oh, that was an entertaining game for us as supporters of the teams. But then very hard to believe, you know, the stars of the world, Messi and Ronaldo is no more going to play any part in the World Cup. But then nevertheless, whatever has been done is done. And Pavard, not so well known player in the world football, but plays a second division kind of in Germany. But the goal what he has scored has made a big news, and definitely it's going to be a big thing for him.
Apart from the Messi show, Pavard, the key part of yesterday's match seemed to be the emergence of teenager Kylian Mbappe, who looked very hot, who looks very promising. His searing pace is the talk of the town, and he is only the second player after the great Pele to have scored twice as a teenage player, just 19. So France really have seem to have the team for the future.
Neeraj, if you have seen the performance of France, it is centered around individuals. You have Pogba there, you have Kante there, you have Griezmann there. You have these players who create magic on the field. And you see Mbappe, I mean, somebody running with the ball for 40 yards and nobody is able to catch him. And see the intensity, the speed, the fire that he has in himself. So he is going to light up the football scene for years to come with his agility, speed, quick thinking, cool head, and makes a difference to the team. So France's performance was basically individual based performance for each player contributing to the welfare of the team.
So don't you think that the team has gelled so far? You believe they are individuals still, or the team has bonded, or there is a way to go for them to bond in a teamwork?
I think there are one or two teams like Belgium and France who are peaking in the right time.
Right.
They are gradually picking up right time because France never had a good game in the initial stages. Even Belgium didn't have, although they scored 3 goals, but didn't have the good game right in the beginning. And I think they are picking up, and that's very, very important. You see, Croatia also has been doing very well. So these are the teams who are performing and picking up probably at the right time.
Denzil, we almost always see that most of the times we build up a tournament around hype around a star player like Messi here or Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal. And if they do not have a good enough team at a high standard, the team does not go beyond the initial rounds or something. We see something like that in here now. We've seen the examples that a team which is not having a good caliber of players does not progress. So what does it take for a player to get the team up to a level and inspire them and progress in a tournament? Because Messi has not been able to do it for Argentina, neither has Cristiano Ronaldo been able to do it for Portugal. So those teams, do you think they were prepared for the World Cup, or they were relying too much on their stars?
I feel they were too relying on Messi and Ronaldo. Messi was not Messi what he is in Barcelona, and Ronaldo was completely different. The same goes because I feel these players were given too much of hype at that point of time, that they are the stars of the team and everything will be carried out by them. But nevertheless, it's not possible like that. Football is a team game, and you need to have that unity, you need to have that combination, and that's what the lower teams have been doing, and they've been performing. They have nothing to lose, and they're just going and enjoying the football.
Right. So is it a mentality of the subordinates or the team members that one star can carry the team on their shoulders, like how Maradona did maybe in 1986, and it is all a legendary talk about Maradona, one-man show, but Messi hasn't been able to do it. So does that mindset need to change now, because world football is changing as we see no fear being expressed by the lesser known teams?
Yeah, Neeraj, football has changed a big time from Maradona's time to now football. Right. It's all about team game. You cannot have any individual player doing a magic like Pele or Maradona anymore. You need the support. What Messi gets in Barcelona, he never got in Argentina, or what support Ronaldo gets in Real Madrid, he never got in Portugal. So
throughout their careers.
Basically, in fact, they are on the losing end because they couldn't have any trophies along with them in the international level, mostly in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Is because they don't have the support what they get in the club level.
Well, Messi didn't have any title with the country. Ronaldo managed to get it at the Euro 2016. So
yes,
one fluke maybe, without disrespecting Ronaldo. So now coming to you, Francis, in this World Cup, we have seen the emergence of so many players, and there's one Mbappe here, and there is one player in Mexico as well, Lozano. They seem to be really good, but then we also have another player, Neymar, who has a very larger than life personality. So do you think it's now on him to carry the World Cup forward, because we sincerely don't have stars of that quality remaining in the World Cup with the exit of Ronaldo and Messi? So what does Neymar need to do now?
Neeraj, Brazil is going to always look up to Neymar as their idol. They are going to go behind him, and Neymar is going to be the driving force. but Brazil has very good individual players, and that's the key of Brazil. The individual players can change the momentum and the result of the game. But Neymar's performance in every match is going to be the icing on the cake, and he is quite capable of coming to his best as the tournament progresses, and that's what is expected of the best players in the world,
right,
to come good at the right time. And we have seen in case of Portugal and Argentina, Neeraj, that some of the old guns, they are not able to keep up to the tempo of this World Cup. Like Denzel says, the game has changed a lot. It's become more speed, intensity is very high, and the demands of fitness is very high. And and if you have seen the counter attacks of France and even Uruguay, when Cavani scored that goal,
absolutely.
I mean, it was those quick counter attacks that changed the complexion of the matches.
Right.
And that's what is the present day football that we see happening even at club level and the country now.
Talking about Cavani, oh my God, what fantastic goals he scored last night. Mbappe, also a PSG player, had a great game against Argentina. And then coming to Edinson Cavani of Uruguay, also a player for PSG, had an exceptional night, scoring two great goals, one with a fantastic header and another finishing, class piece of finishing. Me was the inability of Cristiano Ronaldo to penetrate the box. Even one time he wasn't allowed to get into that box. So Uruguay have a fantastic defense as well. I would first go to Denzel here.
Yes, of course. I mean, they have shown their capabilities in this full tournament. They have been unbeaten in the knockout stages, group stages, and here they have shown again that they are the best team. They have been working together, and it is not easy to mark a player of Ronaldo's caliber, and they have done it just perfect. So, thumbs up to Uruguay.
Sensational finishing by Cavani.
Yes, I mean, these are the players who are going to deliver on big stage. They are big match players, and come at the time comes the man. So that's the man for Uruguay who has made the difference in the game. Nobody expected the second goal to be scored from that angle. Absolutely. But then these are some of the brilliant goals that
Francis, the way he opened himself up and just placed the ball,
curl the ball. Yeah.
What type of technique is that? That was sensational.
You have to be super cool to decide and get your technique perfectly okay, because it's very acute angle, and you can curl the ball to the far corner. Itself is a big...
It reminded me of Thierry Henry. He used to do it for Arsenal many times.
Yeah, we had Coutinho doing it earlier. We had Lingard doing it earlier in the earlier matches. These are some sensational goals you will remember as World Cups keep on coming and going. But this is what World Cup is all about. We want to see these goals, and football is all about goals. And that's where we are getting entertained.
Right.
And the craze for football goes even more because we see such type of goals.
So Uruguay now set up a quarter-final clash with France. Seems like a cracking match up there. Uruguay versus France.
Yes, it's going to be a very close contested match, and I'm looking forward for this match because both the teams have been doing really good in the knockout stage now. They have performed well, and my favorites definitely are going to be France out of this game though.
Yeah, in fact, it's going to be a very entertaining game, provided both the teams can come up with the same performance they have come in the previous games. It all depends on how good they come on the given day. Maybe Mbappe comes back again in the same form or even better, and Cavani also does another hat-trick.
Hopefully recovers
from his injury and come back into play. And you are always going to see something different on the field once you have players like Mbappe, Luis Suarez or Cavani. So it's going to be an interesting quarterfinal.
So this is turning out to be one of the most thrilling World Cups in the history of football, and we hope that the thrills and spills continue, and you keep watching Free Kick on Prudent Media to to keep abreast with the developments in the game of football at the World Cup with our experts, former India international Francis D'Souza and Denzel Franco, explaining to us various nuances of the game and giving us insights into every team's performance every day here on Prudent, right through the knockout stages all the way till the finals of the FIFA World Cup 2018 Russia. Keep watching Prudent. Goodbye.